Hey everyone, welcome back to Trains Are Awesome, the channel increasingly home to follow-up videos. One of the first videos that I made when I moved to DC was about the potential expansion of the Metro Blue Line, the Blue Line Loop. Here's the problem that they were trying to solve. The Blue, Orange, and Silver lines share tracks from Roslyn to Stadium Armory, east-west across DC. The tunnel, which is just double-tracked, is nearing capacity, and passenger numbers are only expected to grow. So 2 years ago, they talked about building a second east-west tunnel, north of the existing one. There were several options for what services could use this, and one of those was the Blue. And ever since then, I've gotten the question under the video, when will we know more about Bloop? Have they said anything yet? Well, the answer is finally here. And Bloop fans, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is, of all the options, WMATA said the Bloop option has the highest benefits to ridership, capacity, and the ability to achieve regional goals. The bad news is the Bloop's not happening. Not for now. Today, WMATA gave a presentation to the board titled World Class Transit, and while the Bloop is the best option for the region, the $30 billion price tag seems a bit too much for Metro to swallow. Which makes sense, keeping in mind the current political climate. That is a big, long-term capital investment. But nevertheless, WMATA said that it is dedicated to bringing, in their own words, world-class transit to the region. On the bus side of things, this means more investments in bus lanes and signal priority, so that frequencies can get better. On the rail side of things, Metro wants to go all in on automation. The Metro was built capable of automatic train operation, but ATO was disabled for a long time in the aftermath of a tragic accident in 2009. It has now been restored on the Red Line, and it will come back to the other lines this summer. Currently, the operator still monitors track conditions, closes the doors, starts the train, and can take over when necessary. It's what is considered level 2 of automation. But WMATA now wants to move to level 4, where there is no operator at all. This will allow for trains to run more frequently and be used more efficiently. You need less actual physical trains when you're running under automated operation to keep the same frequencies as under manual operations. It also simplifies the maintenance that Metro has to do and the equipment that they have to own. Metro points to the many fully automated transit systems around the world as proof that automatic trains are a benefit to passengers and the whole region. It's true, there are many examples around the world of successful automated lines, including old lines that have been retrofitted to be automated. But there is one thing that needs to be done first: platform screen doors. Without an operator on board, these are an essential tool to keep people off the tracks and out of harm's way. Metro is already starting a trial with these doors at 2 stations on the Red Line, an outdoor station and an underground station. And many of my viewers don't like this idea, or at least the vocal ones don't. We don't need this, or they're ugly, I've heard. Well, trespassing, unfortunately, is still much too common system-wide, and the results are tragic. Moreover, the Washington Metro was designed with aesthetics in mind, and I have no doubt that the doors installed will not only improve safety, but will also fit in with the existing architecture. I'm hoping that they incorporate the famous blinking platform lights into the design or something like that. Ultimately, they will allow for better service. The cost of automation is expected to be $3 billion, and the cost of the doors is expected to be $2 billion. So for a little over $5 billion in capital costs, they can improve the Metro rail system in such a way that it increases capacity. Now, on the one hand, like I said, I get it. 2025 might not be the year to start boring a brand new tunnel in Washington, DC, and automation is a good thing. But at the end of the day, at some point, we will need to expand the system. The region is expected to keep growing significantly, even with all of the recent events. In 50 years, the current 6 lines just won't be enough. Hopefully by then, action will have been taken to grow this world-class metro. But in the meantime, with no Bloop, what will happen to the Blue, Orange, Silver? Well, basically what I already talked about. Automation, which increases the number of trains that can travel through the tunnel. Improved bus service along the corridor, which I don't really know about. I take these buses pretty regularly. They're good for shorter trips. Maybe that's the idea. It's to get people to choose the bus for local stuff more than the Metro. And then there will be some other capacity improvements all to help with the flow of people, like a second entrance at Foggy Bottom, which, yes please. Foggy Bottom is one of the busiest stations in the entire system, with government offices, a university, a hospital, and tons of apartment buildings nearby. But it only has one entrance. This new entrance should have happened yesterday. And then underground corridors between Farragut North and Farragut West, and between Metro Center and Gallery Place will be built. And these corridors are designed to ease congestion at Metro Center and to not have people rely on the Red Line as much for the last mile of their trips. These steps should temporarily take care of some of the overcrowding that is expected on this important corridor, which really is the only east-west route through the entire city. I'm just saying, if they had built the streetcar all the way across K Street like they were going to, that could have helped a lot. But anyway, unfortunately, no bloop for now. WMATA is reading the writing on the wall, but nevertheless choosing a bold path forward, hoping to become the largest fully automated metro system in the United States. Their steps towards improved safety, frequency, and reliability will bring it up to the same level as many of the great transit systems around the world. In other words, world-class transit.